Class Armandos. Yes, Armandos. Today, sixth graders, we are going to talk about rounding decimals. And we talked about how, yesterday we talked about how rounding is a place value activity. Really, what we're talking about is place value, right? So, remember when you round 5 or more, you add 1 more. 4 or less, you let it rest. But we need to go back over this place value idea of decimals. Okay? Now, we talked yesterday that you have a decimal place, right? And our regular numbers, we know we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, right? And we know that way. But going this way is a little tricky. And we talked about how there's always only one. Let's see if I can get this to work here. No, I cannot. What this one? No, I cannot. Okay, all right. We only have one ones place. Okay, that ones place kind of works for this side, and it takes the ones place on the right side of the decimal. Okay? So, if we think of it this way, we think of tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, right? Now here's our decimal. If you can see, the first place value after the decimal is tenths. So we think ones, tens, hundreds, right? You can think ones, tenths, hundredths, right? We just take this side here and we add THS to it, right? Ones, tens or tenths, hundreds, hundredths, thousands, thousandths, right? They go together. That's how that works. So, if you're rounding, the first thing you have to do is find that place value that you're rounding to. So, everybody has a sheet with them, right? Let's see if I can find it. You've all got a sheet here. No, that's not what I want. Oh, I see. Where do I have it here? I think it's here. Okay, that's not it. All right, we're not going to worry about that. Let's just do this. Okay. Let's say we've got a number here. We're going to work with the number 275 and how would you say that number? Okay, so we put the word and here for the decimal. Now we have to figure out how do we say that? What's our place value? Well, here's ones, right? We start with tenths. Tenths, hundred, thousandths, right? So we can say this number, 275 and 456 thousandths. That's what this number is. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So let's say we wanted to round this number to the nearest hundredth. Okay? The first thing we need to do is find the hundredths place, right? So let's see. The first number after the decimal is tenths. Tenths, hundredths. There's the hundredths place, right? So let's go ahead and circle that. Now to round, remember we have to look next door. We have to ask that next door number, are you 5 or more, or 4 or less? 6 is 5 or more, isn't it? 5 or more, add 1 more. Add 1 more to what? Add 1 more to the place value that you're rounding, right? So we're going to add 1 more to this number. And what we're going to end up with is 275 and 46 hundredths, right? We were rounding to the nearest hundredth. So that would be 275 and 4600. Remember, there's only one ones place. Right here. There's no ones place on that side of the decimal. Get out of here, you guys. Beat it. Move. Okay. So that would be tenths, hundredths, right? So that would be that number rounded to the nearest hundredth. Let's try a couple more here. Let's say we had this number here. We've got to figure out what that number is first. We know this side, 2,795. And, right? Let's say and here. And now we got to figure out the place value, right? Tenths. Remember, we start with tenths, hundredths, thousands, 10,000ths. So we're in the 10,000ths place here. So you would read this like this: 2,795 and 2,957 10,000ths, right? Tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000ths. So it'd be 2,795 and 2,957 10,000ths. That's right. So let's say we're gonna round to the nearest. Thousandth, right? Round to the nearest thousandth. So we need to find out what number's in the thousandths. Remember, here's our ones place. We only have one of those. On this side of the decimal, we jump straight to tenths. 1/10ths, hundredths, thousandths, 100,000ths. Here's our thousandths place right here, isn't it? So that number there is either going to get bigger or it's going to stay the same. Everything this way is going to disappear. But we have to go next door to find out what we're going to do, don't we? We're going to ask that 7. Are you 5 or more or 4 or less? Right? 7 is 5 or more, so what's going to happen? We're going to add one more. Add one more to what? The place that we are rounding to. We're going to add one more to that one. This guy's going to go away. So our final answer is going to be 2,795 and 296 thousandths. Right? Yes. This is a pain. This is hard. I'm not going to lie. You guys all have this monster here, right? Rounding decimals. I want you to just grab a page and try it. Just do a few. You can do, I don't care which ones you do. I really don't. It's all the same to me. Try some on each page. If you do one on each page and they're right, and you understand it, then there's no point in doing 100 of them because you already get it. All right? If you don't get it, send me a message. Email me. I'm going to be happy to help you. All right? All right. We'll get more on this tomorrow. This is Mr. B saying, see ya!